right, and away from issues to do with the St. Mary's Hospital, the Mau eviction is one that has elicited a lot of politics and reaction, not just from Kenyans in the Mau and the region, but across the country. You made a trip to the Mau over the weekend. Talk to us about what you saw, especially the cut-line policy. Give us more details about that.
Well, Akisa, the geopolitical situation in Maui is really complicated because, as you understand, there are two cut lines, that of 2008 of the task force report that George Natembeya, who is the county commissioner in Narok, is saying that is the one that they are using in evicting people who've encroached the Mau. And you would understand that in 2015, the Jubilee administration pointed out something 28 kilometer stretch that was, planted purple tree. This would serve as a buffer zone, and settlers there, as well as the squatters who've taken areas of Mau as their places of stay, of residence, had been told not to cross the buffer zone into the Mau forest. But now, as you'd understand, this fresh operation, which has been divided into two phases. The first phase started on 3rd of July to 13th of July. But when we visited there on Friday, we found out that a number of officials from the Kenya Forestry Service, as well as the Kenya Wildlife Service, and even conservationists were right on point, flashing out residents. What stood out, Akisa, is that indeed houses were being razed down. We had dozens of houses. We were there on the ground just seeing houses being burnt down. And these officers as well, the KFS, the police officers and KWS officers working together in this operation, were roughing up people. They were roughing up individuals who are now said to have, encroached the Mau forest. And of course, from that, there have been politics that have really taken center stage of these Mau evictions. You'd remember, of course, the Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen on Thursday telling residents that he had been sent by government and telling the residents, the settlers of right there to go back to their places and that they'll be providing iron sheets the following day. Of course, that did not happen, and it has created a lot of political argument, a lot of political debate across the country. And of course, again, at the center of this, Akisa, is conservation. You understand Mau is the biggest forest in the country. It is the biggest water catchment area that supplies water to different parts of the country. And there are a lot of villages around this place. There is Kirobon, there is Kiletien, Olapa, Chemogoi, Kitopen, Kimugul, and Kipchoge. These are the villages that are around this place, Akisa, thousands of people. Schools there, I counted about 15 schools. We specifically visited Olapa School that government allocated about 4 million shillings for construction. It is deserted. The question now is, what is the future of these pupils who are going to school? How is government going to approach this matter that now, as politics at the center stage? You remember now that this is an issue that is right at the doorstep of Deputy President William Ruto, and of course in the coalition government, Prime Minister Raila Odinga, that served as a Waterloo for his political ambition, a base that supported him. But come 2013, that became, a stumbling block for former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in his political quest. So at the moment, as the county commissioner, George Natembeya, is pointing out, there would be a second phase. And this time round, they're saying this time the Mau is no longer available for settlement. That is the word, or those are the words, quote unquote, of George Natembeya, Narok County Commissioner. So, of course, we would be expecting that in the coming days, there will be more and more evictions happening in the Mau. Of course, there's been a lot of debate in the manner in which it is conducted. People saying this is really forceful. At the same time, it is the coldest month in the country. What is going to happen to the children? What is going to happen to the women, the elderly, the men in Mau forest? But again, Jubilee administration now is appearing determined to ensure that they conserve the Mau, Kenya's biggest forest, Kenya's biggest water catchment tower. Akisa.
Elfas, thank you. Elfas Lagat reporting from Nakuru over the weekend. He made way to the Mau forest. He's talking to us about some of the things that stood out for him in his visit at the Mau. And still on that, the new wave of Mau forest evictions is fast taking center stage and attracting political deception more than ever. In a country that has firmly remained in an electioneering mood, the balance between human rights and conservation is one that politicians have ensured gets lost in the dim of politicking. KTN's Francis Ontomwa now looks into the emotive forest complex that has seen politicians openly lie through their teeth.
These are fresh images from Kenya's largest water tower, the Mau Forest Complex. The eviction notice is starting to take shape, and just like it went down a decade ago, scenes of brutality and rights violations are being witnessed. To date, nothing has attracted much politics and sectarian interest like the Mau. Turned into somewhat a theater of vicious political wars, clear human rights violations are on, but the packaging is political.
Nimeleta ujumbe kutoka serikali ya kwamba rudini manyumba yenu. Na kutoka kesho serikali italete mabati ya watu kujenga manyumba yao upya.
Any individual politician can have the opinion. It's just the opinion. But it's not going to stop what we are doing.
Tafutia mtu kura sio kukosea Uhuru Kenyatta heshima. We can do both things. Yeye ni rais na yeye ndo anatuongoza kutafuta hiyo kura ya huko 2022.
The fiery exchanges rekindles memories of the past few years, the political tug submerging real concerns in total. This is the same debate that sank ODM leader Raila Odinga's presidential ambitions in 2013 when his support base, the Rift Valley, turned against him. Deputy President William Ruto, who opposed him, ensured the populace rift became Raila's Waterloo.
Wakenya walio pale hawajakataa kuondoka Mau, lakini wataondoka wakionyeshwa wewe ukitoka hapa utaenda kujenga nyumba yako hapa.
My own track record on matters environment, I encourage you to do an investigation on my personal record on matters environment, and you will come to the conclusion that this effort is actually going to succeed.
In the 80s and 90s, during the KANU era, communities were allocated large parts of the forest complex. A political row over resettlement of the people broke out. Top politicians ingeniously found an easy opening in this, and even today, many of them own thousands of hectares of forest land deceptively.
We are asking the Deputy President, speak with one mouth. Don't speak from both sides. Ukienda kwa jamii ya Wamasai, unawaambia watu lazima watoke Mau. Ukirudi nyumbani Rift Valley kwa watu wa Kalenjin, unawaambia watu lazima wakae ndani ya Mau. We want to ask you, can you make up your mind and tell us, are people moving out of Mau or you want them to stay? And you must be a president who keeps his word.
2008, shortly after formation of the government of national unity between former President Mwai Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, the Mau Task Force was set up. Donor funding was mobilized from the European Union, leading to the formation of the Mau Forest Steering Committee, headed by former Rift Valley Provincial Commissioner Hassan Noor, tasked to implement the report. This report was trampled upon, some citing vested interest from some of the committee members. Many say Kenya lost a real opportunity to fix the Mau problem. President Uhuru Kenyatta has been mum on the Mau issue. This even has his Jubilee party moves on the brink of an implosion over the emotive evictions. Francis Ontomwa, KTN News.